continue line number 10 on the 100 characters of Steele. Number 10 here is the result of the other lines, the first 9 lines. So we have learned that we need to subdue our emotion or emotional pattern in order to have the energy return to its source. When the energy returns to its source by itself, the pill, or actually the very important heat, will present in our navel region here. So when it's in here, in our navel region, what happens is we need to nurture it. How do we nurture it? Here it said that this is the cauldron, or the container, or it's just anything that contain and pairing and matching the water and the fire element. Now, in this line it said water and fire in terms of kan and li. Kan and li is the two basic hexagrams. Of the 8 hexagrams, this is the very critical elements because they are opposite. The fire and the water, and you have heaven and the earth. So fire and water here is the two opposite elements in the hexagram. So they are purely, we call, talking about the non-self-based, meaning it's beyond the self, beyond the ego. It is the elements that pervades the universe. It's not something that we created. Okay, so this is a very important concept. In order to nurture the pill, the Dhan, we have to somehow bring these two elements together. So the word matching and pairing, you bring two opposite elements together. Are they mutually exclusive? Are they mutually denying each other? No. They are present in every single place in the universe. But it is when the ego takes place, then the two elements now have different manifestation, and these manifestations have conflict. But by themselves, these elements, they are not conflicting each other. Okay, and so we say here in the Taoist, we have the symbolism of dragon and tiger. And the dragon and tigers are very, very hard to tame. How can you tame a tiger? How can you tame a dragon? It's difficult. And so they are symbolically giving you the sense of how dragon is emotion. And the tiger, of course, is about thoughts. It's about thinking. It's hard to bring these two together, but also it could be deep emotion, and then the fire also another form of emotion itself. It could be a different kind of emotion, maybe habits, deep habits, for example, that we cannot control. Send into, when we talk about dragon and tigers, we talk about two forces confusedly moving up and down. They are not listening to us. Sometimes our head and our heart, they don't listen to each other. But even within one heart here, different emotion, anger and greed, they are all fighting each other. So we have greed and anger fighting each other. We have the thinking and the feeling also fighting each other. These are confusing, and because they're confused, they cannot let the energy settle. So we say that we subdue them. When we subdue them, then they will be tamed. And they be tamed, the energies will naturally arise. So these are very much the manifestations of our self, our ego, our self. But in this here, it said that once you pass this stage, once your ego is subsided, meaning you control your anger, your hatred, your greed, you control your complete emotion and what we call egocentric, the very selfish tendency. When you control them, you transform them. But how do you transform them? You need to have the heat in here. So the energy come back here when you tame your emotion. Your energies come back in here, and you need to nurture the energy here. There's the way to nurture it, but then go over to talk about the ultimate ways of nurturing this. How do you nurture it? You bring the limited here, the limited self, meaning all the greed and hatred, they are always stick with the self. But there is unlimited element that is beyond self, or selfless. So we say unlimited, and then it can be selfless. is the element of kan and li, or water and fire, and they manifest as compassion and wisdom. This is compassion, is the love that have no boundary. The love is not stopped by a person. You don't love someone and then you possess that person or being possessed. So loves keep flowing and reaching everywhere. Same with compassion. Compassion here doesn't mean that wisdom. Wisdom doesn't mean that you only clear a little bit about this thing but not clear about all things. You're clear about your own shadows, you're clear about every single motivation you have. So wisdom does not get stuck by, oh, I only know a little bit here, but I don't know about my bad point or my bad habits. And so, no, wisdom makes us aware of everything. It's like the shining of the sun. And therefore, this is where we want to have this in order to nurture the energy. And the energy now nurture this balance of kan and li. So they mutually nurture each other. This thing here, the wisdom and compassion, they nurture the energy, and then the energy nurtured back. And so it's help growing. The more that we manifest our compassion, our clarity, the more the energy will condense and expand. And the more the energy condense and expand, the more compassionate and wise we become. So it's very interesting ways of practicing. But we need to take care of this self, the limited view and limited process that always based on the self and ego. It has to be completely beyond that. And the pill or the energy here is a key to develop this. And in the Taoist practice, we breathe down here and we visualize energies coming down and just coming up and then coming together in this center here, the navel here. And that's where the energy can come together. And so we say the energy coming down and just coming up, it's like the fire going up and the water coming down, you stay here. Symbolically, it's like a visualization. But the real meaning behind it is to have compassion and wisdom in action. They're coming together in everything we do. So everything we do always strike a balance between the heart and the head. And those are the very critical teaching when we practice the kind of dharma